Hi, brothers and sisters, and welcome to Children Are Important.
Whee!
Right now, we are doing a series on how to raise funds for your ministry. And so the idea of the series, well, it's raising funds, but it's not just, it's not just about funds. It's about dreaming about what can you do in your ministry. And sometimes we get excited, we have this ministry going on, but we say, if only I had the funds, I could do just a little bit more and it would make my program a lot better. So we are talking about raising funds so that we can do exactly that. We can make our program better. So,
don't forget the book.
Yes.
Okay, you can download total free our webpage, Children Are Important. Raising funds. Okay.
So download this book. It has tons of ideas. We're going to talk about two things today. The first thing we're going to talk about is how to apply for a grant.
Yeah.
So one of the ways that you can raise funds for your ministry, or you can do a special project, is you can write a letter to an organization or to a large company, or even to the government requesting a grant. And a grant does not necessarily have to be money. It could be something else. For the two examples we have today, this first one, actually the first one I'm going to talk about is inside here, and it's requesting sound equipment for an event. So it's not actually requesting any funds, it's requesting sound equipment. So here we have this example. I'm going to look at it, go through this example. So the first thing we have up here in the corner is the logo for the organization that you're working with, or your church logo, or your denomination logo, whichever is most appropriate. And up here on the top, we also have the information about your church or your organization. And then it has the date here and the place, and it has what it is. It's a request for assistance or for the sound equipment. And then up here on this part is addressing the request to a specific person. There should be a specific person to whom you want to request this material or the funds or the resources. And you need to make sure you have their correct title, the person's title and their position within the organization or the company. And then from here, in this book, there are some specific points on what you want to make sure you include in your letter. So up here, you have to make sure the first paragraph is very clear and interesting. It grabs their attention. What you're doing is you're saying, who are you and what are you doing?
About us.
About us.
Yeah.
So in this example, it says that we are a church dedicated for the past 3 years to do this particular event. And this event has been successful in the past, and we are doing this event again. Unfortunately, this letter is actually written in Spanish, so I'm not reading it exactly. You will have to write the letter for yourself, but you can look online to get examples of how to write this kind of letter. So the first paragraph, you want to grab their attention, tell them who you are and what you're doing. And then the next part of the next paragraph in the letter,
the composition,
is the next part of the composition is to tell what your objective is in this event. You're saying, in this particular event, they are sharing a message of hope, salvation, and changing society through resources, workshops,
and other programs.
For the community. And it's saying here that we have a festival. And the goal of the festival is to teach children in cultural things such as development. I don't know what this is. Anyway, it's in Spanish, so it's all written out.
Okay, the idea is they include all the important points we want to communicate. Okay,
Right.
This is the idea.
Who we are, what we've done in the past, what we are doing, what are we requesting?
Yeah.
Right there. and then it has a conclusion here, and it is addressed. Yeah, who is it? And then it has here the person who is sending the letter, and to whom they can communicate. The company can communicate regarding this request. And again, it has the proper title and the position of this person. And this is the person, maybe the director of your organization, or maybe this is your pastor who is requesting this. All right, so that's the letter. And in the book, we have some more points. You want to work on the first paragraph. Drafting, is it easy to read? Composition, does it include all the important points, like you said? The tone of it, does it express security and optimism and create a sense of urgency and importance? Logical sequence, visual impression. Make sure this is really well written. You heard my English translation of this wasn't very good, but the Spanish here is very well written. It's very clearly communicating what it is. And see, all the lines are very straight. It's very organized. And another point that, Flora, you said earlier, is to get someone else to read your letter. Because the person who writes this letter, if you write this letter, you will not clearly see any kind of mistakes or any information that's missing. So you want to ask somebody to help you to read this, and you want to make sure your grammar and spelling are all correct. So maybe if you're not very strong in grammar, ask somebody from your church who is for help and say, can you read this and help me correct this letter? Make sure it's very well written. All right, and then when you go to present this letter to the organization, we're going to show you what you don't want to do.
Okay, give me a moment. I have aquí the letter is here. The letter, okay. This is a letter. Please, can you read? Oh, please.
Oh, don't do that.
No.
That's a bad example. Here. No, we have a good example.
Okay. Hi, my name is Flora Bulldog.
Hi.
Okay. This is a letter. Please, will you read? Only 5 minutes. Okay.
Okay. See, that's a much better example. She made eye contact with me. She already had this ready, but it was over here on the side. She didn't have to look around for the letter. She already had it. She shook my hand. This is going to be, depending on your culture, what you want to do. And then the letter is already, it's straight, it's smooth, it's in this folder.
Clean.
It's clean.
Yeah.
All the grammar has been checked and everything. It's all laid out very nicely. So this is what you want to do. This is another example. This example, they did a workshop, a training workshop regarding Down syndrome. And so they requested from the company Bepensa. It is a very, very, very large company here in Mexico. And they requested drinks, like soft drinks or water or juice for their workshop. And they said here, they were very, very specific. They said they have 4 breaks, coffee breaks with 15 minutes each. And they're expecting 150 people. So they need 600 drinks. So they're very specific on what they were requesting from this company. Oh, and I forgot, there was one more piece in this one. Not only were they requesting the sound equipment for the event in this letter, they were also requesting a person to run the sound. Because if they just brought the sound and then said, here you go, and then no one in our team knows how to run the sound equipment, that's not good. So they requested both the sound equipment and someone to run it. And the person came at the specific time requested here at the address. They put the address of the event and the time of the event, the day. And so the person came, set up the sound equipment, ran the sound during the event, and then tore down the sound equipment and packed it away for them. So
where,
this is,
when, and hour.
yes, yes.
Okay.
So this is how you can request a grant from a company. We have another idea right here.
Yeah.
This is a much simpler idea that you can use at any time. You can set this up at your church. All you need is a container and we have here gumballs. You can use other candies or toffees or marbles, glass marbles will work too. So you just put them in a jar, in a container. It could be any kind of container. And she decorated it here with the balloon, and it says, how many gumballs are there? So what you do is you set this in your church, in a place where, like near the entrance of the church where everyone is going to walk by. And everyone who wants to participate, they donate a donation that's appropriate for your country, maybe one banknote or whatever you want to do. And each person who donates can guess. So you write down their guesses with their names.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Like this.
Name and number.
And at the end, whoever guesses the closest to the real number of gumballs in here gets a prize. And for the prize, you can also request a donation, or you can give away this actual jar of gumballs, or you can get several prizes. And the people who guess closest to the number, the five closest from the bottom and from above the number, get a prize. And what you want to do is make sure that no two people guess the same number. So right here, someone guessed 210. And so the next person, if they want to guess 210, you say, well, you can't guess 210, but you can guess 211 or 209 or whatever. So make sure everyone has a different number that they guess. Make sure you have the information there about why you're raising the funds. So for example, here we have a business card. So everyone who guesses also gets a business card. Or you can have some other kind of display, maybe a little tripod, maybe a poster in the background, whatever you want, a flyer that you can hand out, something so that everyone knows why are they participating in this and what are the funds for, so they can get excited about it. And then whoever wins gets the prize or prizes.
Okay, Suki, how many gumballs are there? Say a number.
Oh, I'm going to guess. Well, I like that 210. I'm going to guess 208.
Okay.
So then I'll write my, can I write my name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Suki.
And 208.
208. Okay.
Okay, at the end of the day, you announce how many gumballs there really are.
How many? 113.
113?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so who is the closest? Oh,
Me.
No. If you know how many gumballs you aren't allowed to guess. But for our example, she won with 98. Was closest to 213. No, it isn't. 210 is closest.
Yeah. No. 100.
130.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So 98 is closest to 130. All right. So those are our two ideas. Remember, if you do two fundraising projects in this next month, one small one, kind of like this gumball one, or we have some other ideas, or you can look in the book for other ideas. One small project, and then one larger project that has a date attached to it, like you have to schedule a date. Take some pictures of your project or some video. Tell us about what you did, how much money did you raise, and what are you going to do with your project. And if you send us that information of the two projects that you did, you get a certificate, and you get to graduate from this Raising Funds course, and the graduation is October 3rd.
Don't forget the email is florboldo
at Los Niños
Children Are Important.
At childrenareimportant.com. Florboldo at childrenareimportant.com.
Yeah.
And we'll also put that email in the comments. Okay? So send us your information of your two projects you did by October 2nd, and you can graduate on October 3rd. Woo! All right, so thank you very much, everyone.
Give me the prize!